All right, welcome folks. Mil-Spec Opsmiga here. Man, what a time to be alive. This is some crazy stuff. But remember, faith over fear. Don't let this stuff worry you. Just put it in God's hands. He is in control, and there ain't nothing you and I can do to change any of it. All right, other than praying. Okay, and so we've been told that this stuff's going to go hot here. I'm going to bounce over the board just to show you. We're going to look at a couple things in Sky Glass real fast. But we've been told that they were expecting Ukraine to go hot today. That hasn't happened as of yet. Not surprising. I think you've got somebody like Putin that is, he's not going to show his hands. He's a lot like Trump. I mean, the dude is, he's masterful with the stuff. So is Trump, right? And so I don't see him showing his hand. If they said it was going to be Wednesday, he'll probably sit on it till Friday, just because that's how he is, right? You don't tell the enemy, hey, I'm coming to your house, because the enemy's going to be stacked waiting for you to come in, right? So now there is kind of an interesting thing. I've been reading that there's only 150,000 troops. Ukraine sits at about 43 million people as a populace. So those numbers just seem to be a little light for invading a country. It kind of makes you wonder. Clearly they're not armed because, here in the U.S., I think it'd be a different story. But man, just simply amazing. But anyway, all right. So these are ones that I actually track. This is my watch list, and this is currently up over the United States. Just want to show you what we do have kind of in the wicker in terms of my tracker. Okay, and then I'll click on the others, and it'll take us across the drink. But I want to show you one. We've got Cobra 28. That's actually going to be, and we'll get into this in a minute. That is one of your intelligence gathering birds, right? It's a surveillance bird. And then let's see, these right here are spy balloons. Okay, and so is this? Sorry, my English is off this morning. It is still my first language, even though I still haven't mastered it. So anyway, but yeah, this just to show you guys, these are spy balloons. Now this is showing at ground level right now. I don't buy that. I think it is probably higher. Again, the only reason we're seeing this in spyglass is because this is crowdsourced, right? These are people that live in these general areas, have antennas on their house, and it basically feeds this machine. Okay, so just like Monkey Werx, right? This is crowd funded, right? So and so crowdsourcing is a very powerful thing, and this tool is amazing. Now, also, I will tell you, this tool goes official launch on the 22nd, so it's going to have a lot more stuff coming out on it. That's the 22nd of this month, so that is 2/2/22. You can still get in on the discounted rate right now if you jump in for the year. But once you get to 2/2/22, it's going to be $5 a month to access this with all the bells and whistles. So pretty cool. But yeah, you can see this. These are actually spy balloons. All right. And like I said before, they've got a range. One of those can pretty much cover the entire United States. But look at the height on this one. This thing's at 80,000 feet. I want to say this one's at 80,000. Okay, one of them just dropped down. This one a minute ago was at 90,000 feet. So it has, or I say a minute ago, a couple hours ago. So it has descended since. But if you get kind of eyes on from over the top, you can see this one's off the East Coast. This one here is over Oklahoma. This one here is out over Utah. And this one here is up over Minnesota. And then this last one here, actually these last two, look to be over Oklahoma, as well as there's three of them over Oklahoma. So, okay, let me bounce out of that real fast. I'm going to pull up what we have on the board, turn the tags off so it doesn't clutter for us. But just so you can see, let me shrink these down. This is kind of what we've got going on right now in terms of list around the United States. I'm going to actually blow that up. Let me move that. I'm asking this thing to do quite a bit right now. And if you really know, these trackers are insane in terms of the data that they can use and consume. If you throw too much at it at one time, you're asking it to track thousands of aircraft that are in the sky and separate them down to just a few hundred military birds. Now I'm showing 388. I'm going to turn my watch list off for a second, just so you can see. Let's get through. If you look at the numbers, C-130s, C-17s here across the U.S. Now we're going to go into more detail on those in just a minute. I'm not seeing any C5s, but those are the two. We're sitting about 30 of those up right now. Tankers, that would indicate we've got, wow. All right, so we're sitting at 35. That is just 135s. But let me see if I've got any 767s on my list here that I can look at as well. We do have a Q4 up. We'll look at Spycraft here in just a second. So, but in 3, so almost 40. And that is a pretty good number, I'd have to say, in terms of air refuelers, coast to coast, which would indicate, now keep in mind some of these will move some cargo, but for the most part, when you see those guys up, that's because we've got a lot of aircraft aloft and they need to get refueled while they're up. And so fighters are little gas guzzlers. Think of them like a Formula One race car. You can only go so long, and you got to put some new juice in the tank, or else you're going to be pretty much a lawn dart. Okay. All right. So let's get over to R135s. I'm showing 3 up right now. If we pull in our list, one of these is actually over in the UK. So we've got 2 here in the US. Now let me bounce over. I want to show you what our sky looked like yesterday from the Spycraft perspective. We actually had 5 R135s up. Now each one of those performed different activities. And as I've kind of delved into these, there's so many different types. If you know specifically which one you're looking at, you can tell exactly what kind of mission it's on. I will try to do a better job at actually pulling that detail and data in for you guys, so you can see really what it is doing, because it does make a big difference. Okay. So that, so 5 of these up yesterday, they pretty much scattered, went coast to coast, everything from sniffing nukes to assessing battlefield stuff. And we're going to look at that closely too right now. So let me back out of Skyglass and let me just show you. So this map confirms this is OpenADSB, about 300 up right now. Do have a little heavy here in the trainers. All right, and then up here, Pax River. So that's kind of your main training. And then out here in Southern California, we get a lot of trainers too. A little lawn dart there coming out of Beale Air Force Base, but that is a little T-38 trainer. Now, let me, we're going to show you these R135s here real fast. So we're talking about Cobra Ball, right? So we're just looking at Cobra 28, and I just want to show you what this thing does. Now, this basically collects optical and electrical data on ballistic targets. All right. Now, remember, that's over the United States. So what are they looking for? That is the million-dollar question. Now, the next thing this also does, this is actually the rivet joint. This is a different one, and I'll show you that one in just a second. This is the one I think is over the UK right now. This one has an onboard sensor suite, which allows the mission to detect, identify, and geolocate signals throughout the electromagnetic spectrum. And then it basically pushes that into the crew. There's about 30 people on board of this thing. But so you can see we've got ones that do sniffing for nuclear particles. It's like the mother of all sniffers. And we got these other ones. And so it's a trip. But all right, so let me back up real fast. I'm going to show you Biden's schedule for today. Sorry, did I say Biden? Oh, mercy. I'm in a hurry here. Let me just back up. Flashbang. Let's make sure we're clear on that. Not really doing anything today. Looks like he puts on his pants around 10:15 a.m., wraps up around 1 o'clock. And so I do see some travel for him over here on the TFR side in the coming days. Looks like he's headed up here to, I don't know, what area is that? South of Detroit, east of Toledo. Anyway, that's where he's heading. Don't see it on his calendar yet. Now, if we look at the other TFRs that are out there, these are storms in the orange boxes, so don't pay attention to those unless you're in those areas, right? But looks like we got some operations going off the coast of Jacksonville. We've still got this TFR over Warner Robins in South Georgia, down there by Macon. This is space operations continuing off the coast of, where is that? Jersey and Delaware. Let me see. Where am I? I'm too far south. Sorry, Jersey's up here. So yeah, north of Virginia Beach. And then out here, Beale, that's a standing. That's always there. This little red dot right here is Disney West. Same thing over here. Now we do have looks like 2 little small. This one is actually going to be Fort Hood. This one's always out there. And then this one, let me see if I can get it to pull up. Sorry, that's a city dot there. Security. Interesting. So that's just south of Round Rock, north of Austin, okay? So there is that for the TFR perspective, a little earthquake out there. Looks like a little 4.7 magnitude earthquake in Nevada. Okay, let me back out of that. Let's get over here real fast. Just to show you, this is the one we were going to look at, rivet joint. Remember, I said rivet joint is actually assessing the battlefield. And then that's this one right here, identifying and geolocating signals throughout the magnetic spectrum. Man, I'm struggling with the English language today, folks. But anyway, that is over Ukraine. All right, actually just east of Ukraine. That's actually over Poland, it looks like. So Black Sea, Turkey, Ukraine runs right up there. It could be right on the border there, but yeah, looks like it's headed back to England. So that is going to be our one we were watching now. I did have that tracked. This is one I'm also tracking. So again, pretty powerful electronic suite. And then let's get over here to my forward observer. Like I said, if you guys don't get this, man, I tell you, it's probably the best $10 a month I spend in terms of intelligence. I said, like I said before, I don't know these guys from a sack of potatoes. I just know that their intel seems to be very spot on, and they do a very good job at it. So, but this is forwardobserver.com. This is our early warning thing. I just wanted to show you a couple things. Biden is still saying that he's ready to engage in diplomacy. Putin's saying, hey, bring it on. But we know that's probably not the case. And, you know, he's threatening decisive action. And, of course, you know, sanctions, which we know sanctions don't really work very well, at least not for Russia, because we don't really provide anything or take anything from Russia. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I think they're laughing at us when we say sanctions. But the U.S. believes 150,000 troops are encircling Ukraine, even though they've talked about some things moving out. That's really not the case. And basically, and I'll show you here in just a second, from the observations of all of the intel aircraft that we're seeing in the region, we're confirming that it's really not happening. So let's see here. Biden said something about countries ready to respond to cyber attacks. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second, because that's kind of a crucial thing. And that's not over there, that's here. All right. But let's see here. The Ukraine is requesting 4 pages. I don't understand what the pages are about. Of emergency response vehicles, first response equipment, nuclear, chemical, biological detection equipment. So, you know, when we're talking about the fact that Russia only has 150,000 troops, they haven't gone in yet, but it's 43 million people, it does kind of make you wonder if nukes or anything else are on the table, because that's a pretty light force to go in and actually take control of a country. Especially when you got NATO and everybody and their brother pumping aircraft assets in, and have been. I'm going to show you something here in just a second before we punch over to this cyber thing. But just wanted to show you that. This is, again, Forward Observer, really good intelligence. They don't just cover that. They cover, you know, you can see stuff about China launching new aircraft and all kinds of stuff. So let's talk about the movements real fast of what's been going on over in this morning. And I'm going to show you something. This is only today. And these are C-17s that are all around the region there. They've been coming back and forth across the drink. But this, nothing but C-17s. And then I'm going to show you the C-130 activity. This is this morning within the last hour and a half, okay? Now you get over here to C-130s, same thing. There is a sea of assets being moved around in this region right now. By both NATO, the US and the UK are very heavy in this effort, okay? And so on that note, let's get over here. I'm going to show you real fast. They mentioned cyber attacks in this thing, and I want to just show you what Biden and, I did it again, flashbang, was talking about, all right? Now this map, this is called cyber threat, let's see, cybermap.kaspersky.com. But it goes through all the threats. Now you can take these off. I don't really know what all these mean. Bad just seems like it's not good. I don't know. But this is a tracker of all the cyber threats. Now I just want to show you, I think these spikes right here are the bad ones that are really not good. But you can actually zoom in on countries and see the attacks that are currently taking shape from a cyber perspective. It is absolutely incredible. But you can see, we get over here to the US, these red ones that are coming in, you know, I don't know, some of these are going to be, there's just no telling really. They're taking things out, but they're just coming in at the speed of light. It's like just bouncing in. We're watching for this. This thing will go super hot, I believe, when Ukraine kicks off, because they're going to probably go after a lot of our infrastructure and stuff to try and kind of keep us preoccupied. But you can see Ukraine right here, Belarus, that whole general region seems to be really popping with cyber attacks right now. Same thing with Russia. You can see it all coming out of Russia. But notice the two spikes. That's a Soviet Union big spike. This is a US big spike. All right. Coincidence? I don't know, but it's just an interesting data point. And then it looks like out here off of China, it looks like they're getting some of this as well. So anyway, this is a cyber activity. This stuff is pretty critical. This is why we had the meat spikes. Remember, the cost in meat went through the roof for a period of time. We had a gas station shut down, all kinds of different things. The other day, Ukraine had some kind of cyber attack that actually DDoSed all of their banking system. And so it's kind of crazy to watch. But yeah, this is an inbound. Now, this is just a real-time DDoS attack map that basically locks you out of that system. So whoever gets the attack can't get into their system to do anything to stop whatever's going on. Okay, it's very volatile, very bad. But look at the amount of DDoS stuff that's just flying around the earth right now. Insane. So you take all that, mix it up with what we just looked at on the other map, and it looks a little bit jiggy. All right, now let's get over here to Blinken, and this guy is saying that Russia is still moving forces currently to the Ukraine border. Now, we know that because of the flights we're watching. And so I just showed you the amount of military assets that have been going around the clock now for probably about, I'd say at least the last 2 weeks. But it has increased in tempo in the last 4 to 5 days exponentially. And so it does look like we are going to be pretty engaged in this. Again, the cyber thing is just another piece, layer of that cake, okay? All right, now I do want to show you too, this one I thought was really interesting. Now, somebody sent this to me in one of my, the monkeys actually, and I thought, boy, this is an interesting little data point, but this is a Russia Ministry of Emergency Situation, or MCHS aircraft that flew into Crimea. Now, you can see the island over here, but evidently, this is something that they do and have, and I did not know that, but they flew in the area, so I'm thinking it's going to go hot. But Crimea is an area they control, and so coming down out of Russia, went into Crimea and then back, but that's just south of Ukraine, and so just a data point, right? And the other thing too, we're just looking at this Forte. I just want to show you this morning so we don't lose sight of it. This is that Global Hawk that pops up that does insane reconnaissance. I mean, the reach and grasp of this thing is it's incredible. So but they're flying over the same region again, Black Sea, just for a kind of a point of reference. You go north of that, this is Crimea here at the bottom of it, right there at the Black Sea. Then you get into Ukraine and then Belarus and Poland over to the left. And so that is actually, I say Poland to the left, so yeah, they were kind of over in that Slovakia Poland kind of range. Definitely gathering data over there, even over Ukraine. So that's where Blinken is getting his data points. That's a U.S. Air Force asset, and that's what's feeding the machine, so to speak, right? So these guys are watching the moves every day. Now, once this area goes hot, those aircraft will probably get shot down if they fly over the region. I don't know if they're, we may have to change over to some different assets to get, I don't know what the range is on an S300 or 400 in terms of altitude, but yeah, definitely get shot at, if not shot down. So when that stuff ends, we're knee deep in war, okay? One thing I want to point out, these are the cargo and the tankers. Tankers in red, cargo's in green, making its way out here on the south side of the Black Sea across notice that the pattern has changed to where it is now very, stick together kind of thing. It's like they are now in their lanes. For a little while there, it got a little funky because I think they were doing some military operations up in this general area, and so people were kind of getting around it. So anyway, there's that. That will also probably change when war starts kicking out, because you don't want your boats in the region, especially tanker spills. That's not a good thing. And so, all right, let's get over to the Royal Air Force. I just want to show you the movements we have. Again, another one coming out of the United States, but all of these are on the move. These are troop carriers for the most part, okay? But you can see all over in that general area, which we were just looking at in our map of C-17s, C-130s. And then this is the one coming out of Huntsville. I don't know where that one is headed, but anyway. All right, and then this is going to be our Camber Flights. These are U.S. military troops on the move. Now, this one right here is coming out of Fort Worth Alliance, headed probably, if I had to guess, up here to Alaska and then on over here. Again, like I was saying before, we are moving assets not nearly, maybe about, it's about 60-40 in terms of what's going west versus east. But these, we're getting a lot of troop stack ups out here, okay, in Asia. So that's just, put that on your calendar in the near-term horizon, that the China-Taiwan thing is probably going to kick off right after the Olympics finish. Which, oh, by the way, the Olympics numbers for viewership are at a historical low. They've never had them. Nobody's watching it. So, and nobody's attending it. I don't know if you remember the Olympics in Atlanta and some of these other locations, but a lot of these places, they have ticket sales and advertising and all kinds of different stuff that they make their money on. And so if you've got nobody there and nobody watching, it's horrible on the economy. So China's going to be hitting that and the Evergrande and all the other stuff. It's going to be like a trifecta on their economy here shortly, and it can't be good. So, okay, those are Camber Flights. Now we get over here to the Omni Flights. Again, these are also troop movers. You can see this guy, like I said, they're headed into Yokota Air Base, right? So headed to Japan and Tokyo, right? And then this one, it looks like it's coming inbound from Shannon. So more than likely, there could be some rotation here, but that may be an empty flight coming in to pick up more folks. Okay, Biggs Army Airfield. This, for some reason, and I don't know why, is like, I don't know if it's because we set up all the camps there, or not all, but a large immigration camp, but we've got more troop movements out of this location than anywhere else in the United States. And so, I'll go to others and I'll see, and it's onesie twosies on occasion. This one is every single day, all right? And so you can see the arrivals coming in. These are commercial birds. Now, again, the United States military contracts with, under the National Defense Act or something, right? Where they are actually in partnership with these aircraft that are commercial airline carriers, because we don't have enough assets to move everything we need to move. And so that's why I say the C-17s are probably moving equipment, supplies and goods and things like that. And then they're putting belly buttons on the commercial flights. Okay. And so when I say commercial, these are charters. You're not going to get, it's not going to be mixed with civilian people. These are going to be soldiers, nothing but soldiers. Okay. But you got this one here headed up to Springfield, Missouri, Southwest Airlines. Don't know. That could be a poppy move. This one here, Anchorage, Alaska, that's definitely a troop mover. We just looked at that on the map. But this one here, this little spa headed up to LaGuardia. So I'm not sure what is on these, okay? Those are the ones that were just kind of up in the air, all right? But anyway, just a data point. Ain't no telling. Oh, man. All right. Let's get over here real fast to the Ukraine. I'm going to look at Kyiv. I just want to show you guys the airport. The reason we're looking at this, we do see from time to time some military assets coming in and going out. But for the most part, what we're watching for on this is this thing to shrink, okay? When they think this is imminent, you'll see these boards get cleared. There'll be no flights on there, or they'll start showing canceled. And so that right now it's still pretty active, although it has kind of skinny down from what we were seeing before. Okay. Now, if you get into the area and you look at the commercial flights, you'll notice along this Russian border here, very light. Like you can see people staying kind of really clear of this general area. Same thing up here in Belarus, not a lot of traffic. Ukraine, these are, you know, they're still flying in there, but it is, you look at the other region and this place is kind of, by staying clear of it, right? It's a big open spot. Okay, let's hop over here to NASA. I just want to show you, we did have a couple flights up this morning, 3 or 4. I saw one in down here in Florida, but it looks to have landed already. Again, little King Air 350. You know, when you look at all of the data points, now these things are outfitted with cameras and all kinds of different little surveillance stuff. Think of it kind of like probably one of our dirt box, you know, Stingray birds, like the little PC-12s. They're probably out there just taking pictures and doing stuff, gathering data for somebody within our government. I would imagine they're being subcontracted. But I don't, you know, you just never can tell. They could be doing weather stuff too. So, and then these two just landed. I'll pop over here just to show you. They flew out over the water again and turned around and came back. So I'm not really sure what they do. This is their airspeed. You can kind of see here this yellow line. You know, the only time the airspeed really deviated was on their approach. So it looks like they pretty much plateaued at around 28,000 feet or so and just did their thing and came back. All right, so that's that one. And that's a little King Air 200 or a BE-20. And then this one here, same thing. It's this one is a little Dassault Falcon Jet 20. And so same thing, followed the other one right down and came back. So they did something out here. I don't know if they dropped stuff in the water or whatever. I don't really know. But I just, again, data point as we watch things happen out off the East Coast, okay? It just kind of makes you stand up and pay attention. All right, now this is our next decay or our sky show. This is actually over here on Sat Flare. It's a really cool spot, but this is every single day something is falling out of the sky. It feel like Chicken Little, man. But notice there's multiple tracks on this one. So I don't know what they're expecting on this, if it's a multiple thing, but this is Falcon 9 debris. And from time to time, I do see that the 4 different tracks, and I can't explain it because I just don't know what it is. So. But anyway, there's that one. That is actually supposed to drop in today, the 16th. But that's a re-entry window, I guess. When it starts going yellow, usually they're red tracks. When they go yellow, that means they're getting ready to start coming back inbound, okay? All right, back over here to our Open ADSB exchange now. Just to show you, now if you, just FYI, I'm going to show you, if you are trying to get away from the names on there when you're looking at this, say for example, it is all in Greek, right? You get over to the Middle East and it's all in their writings. You have to go in here and select these down on the lower tabs here, the Carto stuff, and that'll actually put it into English for you, okay? So just pointing that out because I've had a couple people ask me that while we're here. So looks like we're up to about 317, and you have a couple south movers here. These are all going to be Mexican aircraft, right? Mexico 737-800s. So it's really not. Let me see if we got anything down south now. Just looking like a crazy day like we always have. All right. So we'll continue to watch the skies. I'm not sure when this thing's going to pop, but I have a pretty good feeling it's going to pop just based on the air traffic and the movements of the heavy lift cargo stuff and the amount of troops we're putting in over there. And so to what degree, I don't really know that this could be, who knows, this could be World War III or this could be a stand down. I doubt it's going to be a stand down. I just feel like we're at that point here, right? So, but anyway, just also real fast before we leave, we do have some Belgium aircraft here. Looks like another one down here. Probably looking at that one. Let me just go back to it. Probably coming out of a red flag mission headed back. So if you happen to see that on your map, we've been seeing Netherlands, Canada, Belgium, Germany, quite a few countries coming in and out of the Nellis area over the last 10 days. So, okay, listen, that's going to do it for today. You guys keep that powder dry and stay frosty because who knows what's going to happen here, all right? We'll be back on Friday with our next sit rep, and I'll see you folks over there from Monkey Nation in the Q&A, live Q&A right after this. So you guys be safe out there. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworxus.com.